Welcome to another edition of 5-Minute FRQ, where I take you through an old FRQ on the AP Bio exam in 5 minutes or less. As always, this information is freely available on the College Board's AP Bio website, so if you have any questions, you can look it up. Alright, this is question 7 on the 2018 AP exam. As I've said before, on the current format of the exam, there are only 6 FRQs, so there will not be a number 7 on the current AP exam. Alright, let's dig right in. In the tongue soulfish, sex is determined by a combination of genetics and environmental temperature. Genetically male fish have 2 Z chromosomes, designated ZZ, and genetically female fish have 1 Z chromosome and 1 W chromosome, ZW. When fish are raised at 22 degrees Celsius, ZZ fish develop into phenotypic males, and ZW fish develop into phenotypic females. However, when fish are raised at 28 degrees Celsius, the Z chromosome is modified, noted as Z star. Z star W individuals develop as phenotypic males that are fertile and can pass on the Z star chromosome to their offspring even when the offspring are raised at 22 degrees Celsius. A cross between a ZW female and a Z star Z male is shown in the Punnett square below. Okay, let's just pause for a second. So this is a great question. A lot of times when kids see Punnett square questions or genetics questions on the test, they just freeze up. They get overwhelmed. They think these are really, really hard questions. And, they are hard. These are like the ultimate analysis questions in AP Bio, but also remind yourself that this is a time test. And even though the questions might be complicated, the answer is usually something very, very simple, very, very short. It's meant to be answered in a short question like this in like 7 or 8 minutes. Okay, so they give me the Punnett square. The first question, predict the percent of phenotypic males among the F1 offspring of the cross shown in the Punnett square if the offspring are raised at 22 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to navigate over to how I wrote up the question. So this question, you probably need to read about 3 times before you get what's going on. All that A is asking for is what percentage of the offspring here are male. And I wrote right here, ZZ is male, ZW female, Z star W is male, and Z star Z is also male. So, I needed to write that down separately just to make sure that I had it clear. And if you look at this, that's a male, that's a male, that's a male, that's a female. So what percent are male? 75%. And if you look at the rubric, let me go back. All you had to say was 75%. All right, all you had to do is read the Punnett square. Part B, at least 1 Z or Z star chromosome is necessary for survival of the fish. A researcher crossed 2 fish and observed a 2-to-1 ratio of males to females among the offspring. Based on the information, identify the genotype of the male parent in the cross and describe one fitness cost to the female of mating with this particular male. So I kind of worked backwards. You can see what I did here. A 2-to-1 ratio, when you have 4 boxes, means one of the boxes doesn't survive. So I started with this bottom right box and wrote WW, because that combination is possible but wouldn't survive. What must the parents be to get a WW? You had to have a ZW here, which would be the female, and then a Z star W here, which would be the male, to get this offspring. And if you look at this again, that's a male, that's a male, that is a female, so 2-to-1, and that offspring dies because you had to have at least 1 Z chromosome. So the question says, what is the male? So look at my Punnett square. The male, going back to the rubric, the male is Z star W. This is the male. Now, what's the fitness cost? Well, fitness is a measure of your reproductive success. So a fitness cost would mean you have reduced success reproducing. In this case, she has fish who are dying. So looking at the rubric, fewer offspring survive. That's all you have to say. A quarter of her offspring will die. That works. Some of her offspring will have the Z star chromosome. And all of her male offspring have the Z star chromosome, which again, down the road could lead to some fish not surviving. So a fitness cost is simply that fewer offspring will survive. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys next time.